Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. We're just getting started with our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. And we start with a breaking news alert this morning. Fire crews are on the scene of an apartment fire in West Fargo. We do have word this morning that at least one person was sent to the hospital.
So let's go right away to join us live. Abby Furchner of the Valley today. She has been there this morning and has the very latest. Abby, what do we know so far?
Yeah, good morning, you guys. I'm on the 1000 block of 1st Street East here in West Fargo, where fire crews have just left the scene after they got a call around 5:30 this morning about an apartment fire. I did speak with Tom Clark with West Fargo Fire Department, and he tells me that one person was taken to the hospital after being pulled out of the apartment on the first floor of this building behind us. We do not know of this person's condition currently. Now, when crews arrived on scene, they saw smoke coming from the 2-story unit, but were able to knock down the fire fairly quickly as it was contained to one room on the first floor. I was told that all other units and surrounding buildings were evacuated, but there is no damage to any other buildings or apartments because the fire was only in one room on that first floor unit. The fire marshal is doing an overall check at this time, and as we are trying to determine what caused that fire. That is all we know so far, but stick with Valley News Live as we will give you that cause as we learn it throughout the morning.
Abby Furchner reporting live on this breaking news. Thank you so much. Of course, we will be updating online throughout the day as well. You can go to valleynewslive.com. Another breaking news alert. One person was trapped for a time early this morning after a payloader hit a low-hanging utility line in North Fargo. It happened just after midnight in the 500 block of 4th Street North.
Fire officials weren't sure initially if the line was charged and dangerous, so they waited for XL Energy to give the okay before trying to get the person out of their vehicle. Turns out it was a fiber optic line and not dangerous. Crews are expected to be at that scene for a few hours to finish up the repairs.
10 minutes before 7, let's get a check of our storm team forecast this morning with Robert Hahn.
Yeah, not too bad out there, and today a generally quiet day, albeit getting off to a cold start. A live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. A few clouds out there, and again, I mentioned it's cold. -4 feels more like -15. It is -8 over in Moorhead. It's also -4 in Fergus Falls, 2 below in Detroit Lakes, -2 Wadena, 3 above in Roseau, right at 0. In Langdon, winds out of the south and southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour and occasional stronger gusts. And they'll continue around those speeds as we head through the day today. And those winds with the cold temperatures are creating some cold wind chills. 20 below in Wadena, also -20 in Hallock and Langdon, -15 again here in the Fargo Moorhead area. That matched with a -15 up in Thief River Falls. Some variable cloudiness out there, and that's what we'll see today. Some clouds, and once the sun rises, a mix of clouds and sunshine from time to time. Underneath those clouds, not a whole lot going on in terms of precipitation. Off towards the south, though, some snow making its way through parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, western Iowa. They could see an inch or two of snow. Freezing drizzle causing problems in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Off towards the west, lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow off towards the east. Some ice making its way through parts of Missouri, and storms making their way through some of the Dixie states. For us, quiet conditions. We're going to warm it up into the teens across the area. It's going to feel cold in that. Wind chills generally single digits as we head through the afternoon. Tonight, increasing clouds, and then by tomorrow morning, here comes the snow once again across southern portions of the area, generally along and south of the I-94 Highway 10 corridor. Could see 1 to 3 inches of snow. Thankfully, winds will remain on the light side. That pulls on out of here. Teens again for highs tomorrow, but behind the system tomorrow night, some Arctic air begins to spill on in, and it will be a very cold weekend. Picture of the day, a frigid sunrise in the Watford City area. Thanks to Kayla for sending this in, using it as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And again, teens today, tomorrow, that chance for snow, including here in Fargo. I think we get an inch or so here in Fargo, the way things look, but things may change. Keep it tuned to the latest forecast. Windy and ridiculously cold over the weekend, slightly warmer, but temperatures remain below 0 or below normal into the middle portions of next week. That's another look at your weather. Let's check in with Al Ahmet once again with a look at your traffic. Good morning, Al.
Good morning to you, Robert. Good morning, everyone. Looks like kind of a pretty sunrise we have going on here this morning. We're on Interstate 29, and boy, is there a lot of traffic out here. Northbound I-29 is really rolling at this point. Southbound I-29 actually fairly busy as well. Road surface seems to be in pretty good shape. Still some scattered slippery areas out here. Same thing as we saw on Interstate 94. The ramps seem to be in relatively decent shape, although there's a little bit of compacted snow and ice out there as well. I see North Dakota DOT crews are out here this morning again, widening out the shoulders, and that's certainly a good thing. Travel speeds on the interstate right now are pretty much normal at 60 to 65. Our community is waking up. Traffic is definitely rolling this morning. Willamette Valley Today traffic.
A Northern Valley family is upset after hearing the 911 calls of a fire that destroyed their home, and they're even considering legal action. Stephen and Angela Wright say that firefighters were late and it cost them their home. Now, we obtained the records of the calls along with a log of when the calls were made surrounding that November fire in Warsaw.
The records indicate that it took firefighters 20 minutes after the initial call to get to the fire, and the Wrights say that proves their point. The state fire marshal's report lists the cause of the fire as undetermined. In our consumer alert this morning, people in flood-prone areas might want to get up to speed on their need for flood insurance. The Federal Emergency Management Agency reminds you that homeowners and renters insurance doesn't typically cover flood damage.
And remember, coverage through the National Flood Insurance Program must be in force for 30 days before a flood. We have information for you at valleynewslive.com. And here's another urgent reminder. Xcel Energy is telling people to check their gas meters and other gas-related equipment again to make sure they're free of snow. Crews are getting a half dozen calls every night from homeowners and businesses needing help with this crucial snow removal project.
With all of the snow that we've had this season, there's the potential for trouble if you don't take care of the gas equipment.
Debate on a pair of contentious gun control bills in Minnesota went well into the night, and it didn't wrap up until after midnight. The House Public Safety Committee voted 9-7 last night in favor of a bill requiring universal criminal background checks for gun buyers.
The panel then began considering a bill for a red flag law to allow families and police to seek court orders to temporarily confiscate guns from people judged to pose an imminent threat to themselves or others. But the committee didn't finish before the midnight deadline and put off a vote until tonight. Some Minnesota lawmakers are pushing to make spousal rape a crime in their state. The House has passed a bill saying if you're married and you rape your spouse, it would be considered criminal sexual conduct.
The change is currently in the Senate Judicial Committee. From there, it will go before the full Senate. We'll get a look at Minnesota's updated economic forecast a little later today, and it's expected to show a smaller surplus than projections from December.
Legislative leaders and the administration will use the updated numbers to set final spending and revenue targets as they hammer out budget agreements before the session adjourns in late May. The North Dakota House said yes, and now the state Senate will be voting on a bill allowing minors to sit in bar areas of restaurants with an adult. Proposal does not mandate businesses to do this. The Department of Human Services is against the bill, saying this would encourage a social drinking culture in our kids.
In our schemes and ripoffs this morning, a warning from the Fargo PD about scammers posing as Amazon employees. They call and say that there's trouble with your order and that you need to call another number to fix it.
Then those people say you need to log on to your computer, but won't fix the problem over the phone. Amazon says they would never call you. They only send emails. Two Grand Forks men are accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of items from a Walmart in Grand Forks.
Court documents say Bruce Ostring and Michael Sebjornsen loaded several items into a cart and made their way to the back of the store near the auto department. Police say they then forced open a door and unloaded the items into a vehicle. North Dakota's first medical marijuana dispensary is opening tomorrow in South Fargo after a one-day delay. The botanist will start seeing customers at 10 in the morning.
The director of the State Division of Medical Marijuana is apologizing for any inconvenience that the delay may have caused patients and caregivers. Today is a big day for MakeAWish. It's their Wishes in Flight event, and they're asking people to donate unused Delta and United Airline miles. It will help local Wish kids take flight.
More than 75% of the wishes granted by Make-A-Wish require air travel, and it's the largest expense of the North Dakota chapter's budget. You can donate by calling 1-800-362-9474 or go to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on the Community tab. A team of volunteer firefighters were called to the scene of an unusual emergency in a western German town this past weekend. A fat rat was found wedged halfway through a manhole cover.
The team got to work on the rodent, freeing the distressed animal in, luckily, just a matter of minutes. Body cam footage of the rescue shows the rat scampering to freedom down the drain.
I was not prepared for that. I'm glad I didn't have too much breakfast. I get so scared of rodents. Oh, gosh.
It's ratatouille.
That's something right there. I'm not going to use any words other than that to describe it, but
that guy just stole too much cheese.
let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. Doing this in the middle of the day could boost your energy by about 30%.
There's been some debate in the studio this morning, but the answer is brushing your teeth. And Jordan, you believe that wakes you up?
Absolutely. I cannot brush my teeth right before I go to bed because I can't fall asleep as well. So I need to do it before and then do a bedtime routine with it.
Robert's not buying it.
I don't buy that one at all.
Hey, it's going to be a nice day. So
a decent day today. Get out there and enjoy it. We're going to warm up in the teens. It's going to feel a little colder than that. Tomorrow, though, more snow rolls on in. The best chance for accumulating snow along and south of the I-94 Highway 10 corridor, 1 to 3 inches of snow. I think here in Fargo we get around an inch or so of snow. Then behind this system, incredibly cold over the weekend. Dangerous wind chills, particularly by Sunday morning. Parts of the region could see wind chills as cold as 45 to 55 below zero.
Brutal weekend.
Brutal, yeah.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. You can join us right now for the latest up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.